Adolf Adi Dassler is the name behind the origin and monumental success of the world's second largest and Europe's largest sportswear manufacturer, Adidas. With annual revenues of over 23 billion euros and a workforce of over 60,000, Adidas is one of the world's most valuable brands. The brand is the world's leader in sports footwear, sportswear, watches, eyewear, shirts, bags, and other accessories. A company that started as a humble shoe repair stall in a shed, garnering colossal success due to passions, creativeness, and innovation of one man, Adolf Dassler. Today, we'll revisit the incredible story of Adi Dassler. Adolf Dassler was born in November 1900 in a small rural town in Bavaria, Herzogenaurach. He belonged to a low-income family. Adi's father, Christoph, was a tailor, while his mother, Pauline, ran a laundry business. After Adi completed high school, he entered a banking internship to fulfill his father's wishes, but he wasn't interested in banking at all and was passionate about shoemaking. Adi and his brother Rudolf Dassler were trained cobblers from a young age and had a tiny blacksmith shop already. Adi wanted to make shoes for a living. Another thing Adi was passionate about was sports. He competed in various sports with his childhood friend and the son of a local blacksmith, Fritz Zellin. They played football, ice hockey, boxing, track and field, ski jumping, and skiing, and so much more. So, Adi got sufficient exposure to a wide range of sports. Being a keen observer, Adi identified that all the athletes wore similar shoes. This observation later became the genesis of Adi's success. While Adi Dassler was planning to materialize his sports footwear idea into a business, World War I was brewing, and Adi was conscripted into the German troops. In 1919, he returned home and saw his homeland engulfed in extreme poverty, unemployment, and economic crisis. However, Adi was determined to give his life to his dreams. His inherent creativity helped him launch the business officially. Would you believe that Adi converted his mother's old laundry shed behind their home into a shoe workshop? That's how the world's largest sportswear company originated. Without electricity, machinery, and feasible resources, running a shoe repair business turned out to be daunting. But Adi still made enough money through his incredible shoemaking skills and transformed the locals' old, worn-out footwear into durable, almost new products. Adi Dassler wanted to embed innovation into sportswear, so he created spiked running shoes for better grip on the track and field. This was a groundbreaking idea at the time. Adi created several shoes featuring hand-forged metal spikes, which he received from his friend Fritz, who was now running his father's business. Gradually, his clientele grew, and he had enough resources to create the first pair of handcrafted sports shoes. His long-standing idea was finally seeing the light of day. Innovation became the trademark of Adi Dassler's shoe design. He faced many obstacles while establishing the business. Unreliable electricity supply was among the biggest problems, which he resolved by rigging a leather milling machine with a bike. The company's only employee was tasked to pedal the bike. In July 1924, Adi's brother Rudolf Dassler became a partner in the business. They registered the company as Dassler Brothers Sports Shoe Factory. They had 3 employees now and a one-room workshop where the brothers produced leather boots with nailed studs for footballers and spiked track shoes for runners. By the late 1920s, this startup grew substantially and they moved their production unit to a bigger warehouse in Herzogenaurach, invested in new machinery, and increased their production. Adi was a visionary, so he quickly felt the need to promote his shoes to a broader client base. Back then, when Football World Cup and the Olympic Games were only main sporting events, the Dassler brothers wanted to market their products to elite athletes. Adi knew that if athletes competing at these events wore their shoes, this would authenticate their product's quality, and that's exactly what happened. Adolf convinced German distance runner Line Radke to wear a pair of Dassler brothers' spiked track shoes during the 1928 Olympics in Amsterdam. Radke was the first woman athlete to be allowed to compete in the 800-meter race, and she won it with a world record time. This put Adi's sports shoes at the forefront, since most attributed Lena's win to the shoes. Later, Adi formed a working relationship with the German national track and field team, with the support of coach Joseph Waitzer. Most German athletes preferred wearing the Dassler shoes in the 1932 Los Angeles Games and the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Adi could have easily spent the rest of his life in peace, but for him, it was just the beginning. After claiming a considerable chunk of the domestic sportswear market, it was time to introduce his shoes to international athletes. Adolf got the perfect opportunity when America's star athlete Jesse Owens lost his track shoes while traveling to the games in Berlin and was offered some Dassler brothers shoes by Adi. Legend has it that Owens won 4 gold medals at the games and later became the ambassador for the company. By the early 1940s, Adolf's business was well established and he had a vast client base outside of Germany. Tragedy struck again with World War II that ruined the company. Their factory was converted into a weapon manufacturing facility. After World War II ended, American troops dismantled the entire operational apparatus of the Nazi regime, including the destruction of factories used during the war. Adi's factory was to be demolished, but thanks to Jesse Owens and his connections with the American officers, the factory was spared. But all wasn't well back home, because the stress of the wars and the business's downward spiral caused a rift between Adolf and Rudolf. The brothers officially split up in 1948 after dividing the firm's assets amicably. The Dassler brothers became business rivals. Rudolf launched his own sports shoe firm, Puma. Adi renamed the Dassler brothers company ADIDAS by combining the first 2 letters of his name and the first 3 letters of his surname. Being an inventor, he went a step ahead and created a unique logo of 3 stripes to differentiate his shoes from Puma. If you believe that Adidas means all day I dream about sports, now you know this isn't true. By the 1960s, Adidas was a fully functional, profitable business employing around 500 people. Despite his age, Adolf was churning out creative ideas. He crafted more comfortable, lightweight, and athlete-friendly shoes. In 1963, he introduced shoes that prevented fungal foot infections, called Adilite. And in 1967, he launched the first track shoe and laid the foundation for a brand new sports apparel category. Until his death in September 1978, Adi kept innovating and strengthened the brand's reputation through collaborations with noted Olympic medal winners, footballers, and world record makers, all of whom wore Adidas shoes. Adolf and his team of developers and designers reportedly acquired more than 700 patents. Well, that's an incredible achievement, folks. Adi was inducted into the Hall of Fame for contributing to the sportswear industry. Adidas is still a booming business. Despite fierce competition from Puma and other mainstream brands, Adidas is among the world leaders with innovative ideas and intelligent strategizing. The company is giving tough competition to well-known brands like TaylorMade Golf, Reebok, and Rockport. It's still headquartered in Herzogenaurach, but its production units are dispersed globally. The company has truly lived up to its slogan, "Impossible is nothing." Franz Beckenbauer first wore custom-made Adidas footwear in 1967, and since then, almost all high-profile sportsmen have owned Adidas shoes, including Zinedine Zidane, Allyson Felix, and Michael Ballack. The company supplies team kits for world-famous clubs like Real Madrid, AC Milan, Munich, and Chelsea. Key takeaways from Adi Dassler's success story. Through Adi Dassler, we can comprehend the core principles of establishing a business and making it profitable. Let's find out what we can learn from Adi's story. Innovativeness. Innovation remained the key to success of the Dassler brothers company and Adidas. Adolf was obsessed with giving his product a unique appeal and distinctive look so that people recognized them as soon as they would see someone wearing them. That's why he introduced the concept of logos through the 3 stripes on the sides of the shoes, giving them different numbers and incorporating colors. He used his name to create the name of his company, which shows how creative he was. Keen observation. Whoever knew Adolf Dassler claimed that he was a dedicated observer. After sports events began to be televised, this observation intensified. He used to study athletes' movement to get ideas for his next product. He wanted to identify the problems athletes faced to eradicate them through his products and constantly worked to introduce unconventional footwear. Struggles are inevitable. Adi faced countless hurdles while he was trying to establish his business. He experienced 2 world wars that caused a drastic impact on the German economy and ruined his business. Several times, Adi had to re-establish his business from scratch, and every time he did it with utmost determination. Adi used his mother's laundry as a warehouse and generated electricity by pedaling a stationary bike, but never gave up hope. Experimentation. Adi Dassler was highly experimental. He scavenged through military equipment debris to find materials for shoemaking. He used everything from military automobile tires to helmets, uniforms, and parachutes to create shoes. Being an ardent sports fan, he longed to create top quality and unique shoes. He introduced us to metal spike shoes, antifungal footwear, tracksuits, and sporting accessories, which are still in demand. Thinking big. Adolf Dassler tried to expand his business outside Bavaria and traveled to all major sporting events in the country to persuade athletes to try his creations. He always aimed big and reached out to the international market when the German economy was still reeling from World War II's after effects. Before sports sponsorships was officially a thing, Adi recognized its potential. He roped in top athletes, including the then fastest man on the planet, Jesse Owens, and Lena Radke as his brand ambassadors. This international exposure helped his business tremendously. Adolf Dassler's story is an inspiring tale of a poor cobbler who worked hard to establish a billion-dollar franchise that currently boasts over 1,000 stores worldwide. His biggest contribution to the sports industry is that he made sportswear a symbol of attitude and fashion. His products gave us a unique image of culture, sports, and entertainment. His designs impressed athletes worldwide, and his brand became the catalyst for an industry worth tens of billions of dollars today. Adi's remarkable life exemplifies how ingenuity, hard work, creativity, and passion can take you places. We hope you like this video and that it inspires you to set your own goals to build your wealth. Please share your thoughts in the comments section, including which of these takeaways you'll apply in your life. If there's a specific successful entrepreneur you'd like to see profiled, leave your suggestion in the comments as well. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Press the bell icon to stay even better connected. This is Aimed Intentions, and thanks for watching.